All right, guys. So we're starting the recording. This is our almost our four for 1 month anniversary. It's our fourth week. We launched on August 17th. It's now September 14th. So congratulations. But anyway, so today's restocks. I was afraid this kind of stuff would happen. The reason why, and I'll show you what I mean. The reason why, because last night everyone got really excited about the short. Everyone's like, dude, this is a no-brainer short. It's game over. $80 are coming. I see so many people on Twitter saying $80, $80 TLR. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, this thing is so manipulated. And I even posted on Twitter, be careful about SSR. So this is the game a lot of they use it to trap. They bring it down to the SSR level so that they can turn on SSR and trigger, and then they fucking squeeze the crap out of people. What SSR does is you cannot now bid whack. In order to short sell, you have to be on the offer. And so the only time you can short sell a stock is on an uptick. So it's at a huge disadvantage, because if the stock is going up, why the hell do you want to short it? You see what I'm saying? So you're fighting the trend. And so SSR gets turned on, and I mean, dude, it sucks for a short seller, but I mean, that's the way they game it, you know? And so you have to be cognizant of that. I'm always worried about SSR moves off a huge thing, because that will determine everything. Everything is the SSR, because that's when they trap, they move things down, pre-market, all that. So I'll tell you how to calculate SSR. SSR is based upon 10%. So all I do is I take the closing price. So the closing price was 119. So they gamed it after hours, dude. They tanked this shit down. Because what happens is this: 119.76 times 90%. So because SSR is a 10% trigger. So in order to trigger SSR and TLRY, it needs to go underneath this price. It did, dude. It went down to like hella low. It trapped a shitload of people. And what did it do? Fucking once it started moving up, everyone got trapped and started fucking covering. And this is what happened. And I gave you guys these lines pre-market, man. I gave you guys these lines pre-market. And so, I mean, I don't like to chase, because I'm like, dude, this. So I know that once SSR hits, this is what I think. Once SSR hits, I wouldn't say always, because there's never always. Most of the time, there's a big bounce. And the big bounce is, so you can think of it as like, so that's the first bounce on the short side that I like to trade on, because that's the easier way, because it's the most predictable bounce. Off of a huge move, it will bounce up because of SSR, because they're gaming this all the way, right? So let me pull up what I did. I mean, I didn't do perfect trade, but dude, I kept myself out of trouble. So let me make this chart actually smaller so we can see it. Bigger, that mean. Audio good, guys? Audio is good, right? Okay. I didn't do many trades. I gave you guys this chart this morning, and let's take a look at the chart I gave you, because I think these charts sometimes change. So I'm gonna pull it up just to see. And there's a reason why I show these charts for you guys. Okay, I want to show you guys this. So on my Twitter, I posted this. And I posted this for a reason, because these were the pivot lines that I drew up pre-market. Okay. And so this is a long time ago pre-market. So all I did was I started to scale in, if you notice, at the high, because I knew it's gonna. I thought once it hit triggers SSR, it's gonna be some crazy ass bounce, dude. Because it'll never tank this easily down unless there is so much inventory. And the only times I've seen so much inventory is if it's a straight up scam, like a bulletin board penny stock promotion where a guy owns the entire float and he has like 10 million free trading shares, you know, to dump. But this is like an IPO in NASDAQ. So it's like semi legit, semi real, you know, not a complete fraud with one guy in a shack somewhere, right? That So the way that if this was a one guy in a shack, it probably would go to 85 and more to maybe $50. But the fact that this is a real IPO, so when someone takes it out to IPO, there must be an investment bank that's holding some shares of this and supporting this. There's an institution holding this stuff. So for these big stuff, I mean, to get a move down straight to like $85 or $50, in my opinion, it's not going to be one straight candle down, dude. It's going to be very choppy. It may take you a day or two, but it's going to fucking trap you and do all this crazy shit. So the only thing you can do, in my opinion, to play it safe, unless you're swinging this, I'm not a swing trader. I'm an intraday. So I'm taking money off of each line, each resistance, each support. I'm just playing it safe, dude. I'm not going to claim I made $1 million off this, because I mean, this is way too hard, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to want to hold this thing overnight, unless it goes my way, right? So if you take a look at what I did, I mean, all I did was I just replicated the lines. So I only made a couple of trades on this. I was kind of scared of this, but because if it went my way, I would have added more. So what I did was this. So my first trade was at around 111. And where did I get that? From this line, 110 line right here, see? And so then the next line would be what? The 115 line? And what I did, I shorted the 115 line. See that? I would have added again at the 120 line. I would have been shitting my breath. I don't know what I would have done, but I was like, so I took a line that was pretty high, and I did that. So 115, I mean, it recovered from $97, dude. It was $97 down here. And notice where it bounced. It bounced exactly around this pivot line in the morning. If you take a look at it, right here, around 98, dude. I mean, these lines don't fucking lie. I mean, they're not 100%, of course. Nothing's 100%. But I use it as a guide. I mean, this is powerful shit. I'm just telling you, and it's simple as hell. People think I have some magic shit. No, dude, I'm just a disciplined guy. In the morning, I'm like, fuck, it went past my line. I'm not going to chase this shit at $97. So I put my lines in at, the higher points here. And I scaled. I didn't go all in one shot. I had 2 more bullets I could fire. So so what I do is I pick a max size I want to do, and I scale, and I stop at that max size. That doesn't mean I'm adding to a loser. That's my plan. My plan is to have a max size and scale to that max size. Now, if I start going over my max size, then I'm adding to a loser, right? Because my plan originally is to have X number of shares. I don't know where the price is exactly, but you know what, man? I'm gonna save my bullets. And so sure enough, dude, it was the top, 115. I nailed the top here. And so it averaged out. And then when it came down, I took some off here. And then I started taking more, and I had a sweet print at 109. So, I mean, I made some money. It was a very difficult trade, man. I actually caught it here, and I was like, fuck, I walked away. I'm like, dude, this thing, because the reason why, because I felt that this was trappy, was it should have tanked. It should have went down to 98. But it didn't. It stopped, dude. And it stopped high. It didn't stop at the low. In hindsight, it did stop where it's supposed to stop. See 109? That's where I kind of covered. You see this? So remember I always said the resistance, the previous resistance becomes a new support. Let me repeat that. The previous resistance. See, it went up. Remember what I said the other day about you can consider resistance as the ceiling of your house and the support as the floor. And the stock is bouncing on a mattress. And so the stock bounced up and it hit the ceiling and bounced down. And you're saying once it broke the ceiling, so now the ceiling becomes the floor, because now you're on the next floor. If you're on the second floor, now you're on the third floor, right? And so you can think of it as like an apartment building with 10 floors, right? And so as you go up, and so it did that, dude. So it actually conforms to the chart pretty damn well. You see this line? Look at this print here, dude. The ceiling becomes the support, which is the floor for the next level up, right? And look at the line you drew up. It's pretty damn accurate. Pretty close, dude. And so I took some off here. The thing is, I held some. I covered the rest when it went back up here. But the thing is, it should have went down more, man. But it didn't. I gave it time. And then it tried to retest again at 109. I was like, maybe this is it. But it did not. And so by the fact that it held a double bottom, I'm like, dude, there's shenanigans going on here, dude. And then I'm looking at the other stocks like Cron and CGC, and those things just fucking trapped everybody. You see that? It went back up and never went back down. So based upon all the data, all the analysis, all the information I'm gathering, I came to the conclusion, avoid this shit. I could have went long, but it's too dangerous. I'm not going to chase this stock that everyone's trying to beat down, because who the hell knows? But the only thing I do is I made my money and I kept safe. And I'm waiting now for better setup. Like I said, it's like a casino, right? I'm seeing the blackjack hands being dealt. Right now, the hands are getting great because look at this fucking squeeze. So that's why I was able to get in small and added more, right? And so I did not have a good feeling, and so I stepped away. I mean, as simple as that, man. It's like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but if you don't have a good feeling and the cards are not stacked in your way, it's a no trade. It's waiting for the better situations. I was waiting for 109 to collapse so that it will go back down to the lows, back down to the 98 level. You guys understand that? See? But it didn't. It got supported, so I was like, I walked away. And sure enough, it was a big ass fucking trap, dude. I mean, these are the signals that the problem is this. Everybody wants to short this. Such an easy. It's a FOMO. You see your friend shorting this. You see the guy next to you shorting this. And you're like, I don't want to miss this. This sucker came from $40. This thing is going to be $80 like within the next hour. It doesn't work like that, you know? So this trade was very hard, man. Let's take a look at it. So what I did was this. I was like, dude, this thing is trapping. If this thing is trapping, that means Cron is trapping, CGC is trapping, and sure enough, they all trapped. So what I did, I focused on the stuff that people forgot about. People forgot about NIO. I didn't hear people much chatter on it. I was like, yes. So let me show you what I did on NIO. Can you guys hear me fine? This is good volume, guys. Any questions so far on the TLROI? You guys understood what made me think? Because we had questions like, what made me think it was a trap, and I stopped avoiding it. So yeah, now you guys kind of understand, right? It was hard, man. Trust me, the guys that held overnight made money. They covered. They made money. It just the rest of us who got FOMO got fucked. You see that? I'm telling you, SSR, man, SSR. So let's take a look at the one that's easier, NIO, which I have short from 1191 average. Ooh, hold on, it's coming down. It's coming down to my cover soon. Hold on, guys. We were showing this in real time when we started this seminar, when we started the webinar. Okay, I'll just let it run to my spot. Okay, NIO. Let's pull this sucker up. We can still look at it here. Beautiful, bro. This is a beautiful continuation. I call it the low-hanging fruit play. Because what happened? Everyone's horny about weed. Everyone's horny about weed. They forgot the easier shit. And so I was like, dude, awesome. I didn't hear people talk about it. And so what I did was I used once again yesterday's chart to determine where the hell my entries are. It's as simple as that, guys. So notice where my first entries were. They were in the 12s, because that's where the first resistance support area. So I nibbled a little bit. You see that 12, around 1225 area. You see this? So I was a little down, but it's okay. That's part of my plan. Remember, I had a max size, and so the first ones were like the filler trades, right? And so so this is completely fine within my plan. I wanted this sucker to go up to 14 bucks because that's my true line. You see that, guys? The true line is the 14 bucks. But I don't know if 12 bucks was the it. So I was very smart to scale very slow, very small initially. Remember I said initial entry should be very small. because I don't know what the hell is going to happen unless I have some magic crystal ball and that's one shot. Remember I said, if I have a one shot, it's not going to be enough size. I'll be pissed anyways. So there's no reason to start huge size as an entry. It's a lose-lose situation. If you nail it on the first try, good for you. And no one ever does that, you know, and never with size. They will never fill you one shot, one size at the top. How do I know it's a, I don't know. So the question is this, how do I know it's a short? It's a recent IPO. It could go to 15. It could do anything. It could go to 1 million. It could go to 0. All I know is I'm looking at the pre-market. Take a look at the time pre-market. So the open is right here. Pre-market, it made new lows. So that is what I was looking for. I was looking for a confirmation. I didn't hit it at $13. I hit it lower when it went down. So let's take a look at the time I hit it. I hit it at 9:15. See that? Around 9:15, which is around here. So I hit it. So I waited for this move. Okay. So it hit the 14 and I saw it cratered down. And so I'm like, okay, let's see where it bounces, dude. Because where it bounces is very important because they will determine whether or not it made a new high or a lower high. Okay. And it bounced up to 13 only. It couldn't break 13 and it took another dump down to $12. So it made lower highs and lower lows. Both, boom, a very good indicator that this sucker is weak. And so what I did was I'm scaling this sucker to the $13 line because that's where the resistance is, right? So I started nippling. You see that? 12.50. When 13, I added more 13, and then I was like, oh fuck. It went up to 14. But it did my plan. My plan was the oh shit, like I wanted 14. And so I added a bunch up here too. And I actually top ticked this sucker. 13.77. I started scaling. I wanted it up to 14. I was kind of pissed it didn't hit like 13. But remember what I said? You gotta be careful being greedy. Like, don't wish what you got because if it broke 14, we would not be sitting here happy. But you see how I scaled it? Because I gave myself room. I gave myself so much room. Because 14 was what I thought it could hit. And I don't know if that was it. This is the way I trade, man. I mean, it's probability, right? I've done this thing so many times where this is for me, it's pretty high probability that it's going to go my way because I've seen it. And so I just need, holy crap, Taylor, I just took a giant ass dump. You see all those points? But anyways, and now Cron follows. See, the head of the snake I hit, and now this sucker is coming down too. But anyway, so we're going to finish the NIO. So I started scaling. This is my strategy, guys. That's it. You know, I'm showing you what I'm doing and how I'm scaling. I'm giving myself that much range to be wrong because I'm sizing accordingly up. You know, it's like small here, bigger here, gets bigger. And then it took a big ass dump from $14 all the way down. I could have done much better on this trade, but I mean, I suck. Seriously, I suck, dude. I mean, because it went up so much, it did kind of freak me out. So I took too many covers here. I held some, and I added more when it went up. I was like, oh fuck, I should have held more. It's always the hooroo hindsight shit, right? There's like no way I thought we'd like down to $9, dude. And so I added more here, then I covered here. Then I started, you know, just trading. Now I'm scalping it because it's past 10:30. The easier move, never an easy. The easier move was in the morning, and you capture this move, you cover here like I did, you fucking walk away. And the rest was just me being kind of me just waiting at the top of each channel and doing channel trades. You see that? It spiked up $12, so that was my line again. Covered down at $11. So I had some pretty nice channel trading scalps. 12.50 line, you see that? Boom, down to $12 and $11.75. So these add up, man. These dollar moves, 50-cent moves, 80-cent moves, they all add up. And then I just shorted before during the webinar when we were talking about a $12 line. So I haven't covered yet. Um, hoping for maybe a 1080 move. We'll see. Um, I could scale out, but you know, I'm too busy doing this webinar. But you guys understand my thinking? Like, I don't know what's gonna do. It's like I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have yet tomorrow's newspaper. I'm just basing it on charts and doing probability and sticking to my plan. My plan says this sucker is weak, making new lows. It kept on going low, and so but remember, there's always gonna be that one crazy ass bounce that traps everybody. And I'm waiting for that, dude. See, I'm waiting to add there. I want 14 to come because I gave myself that much room. You know, I wasn't down that much because I sized small down here and I sized more up here. And so when it hit there, I was like, I was fine because that was part of my plan. Remember, I said it's all in the pre-planning, guys. Because when it happened, I did not panic because it was in my plan book that it may hit $14. You know, it may hit $14. So when it happened, I was prepared to act because it did not surprise me because I gave myself that much room for error. And that's why I said I suck, dude. If I was really truly good, I would be just all $14 all in one here. But no, I mean, for these are just too crazy, man. I mean, $2 moves, but you have to give yourself that much respect of the stock. If you want to, my goal is to be green. My goal is not to like be a champion and go in 10,000 shares at the top and cover at the bottom, you know, because no one really knows. So any more questions on TLRY? If there is resistance, shouldn't you just be patient for that area to come? I'm scaling in at each resistance line. I did wait for the stock to come to me, right? See, there's so many of these resistance lines. Like, how do you know which one's the real one? Usually it's by the solid dollar amount, but who knows? See, it went up here and then boom, went down. So I mean, where would I have stopped out? I hate these questions because I don't really know until it happens. But remember I told you the way I do a stop is this, guys. It's how you define what a stop is in your own strategy. For me, a stop is not really the price; it's a max loss or a max share size or the time. So, I think for you guys, in my opinion, everyone uses the max uses a lot like a price. A lot of times is wrong, man. That's how they fucking fuck you. It broke $14, you know, near $14. Oh shit, here comes NIO. Remember I told you? Come on, come to Papa, 1080. But so for me, it's a max. So for this trade in particular, it was a max size. I had bullets for a max size. And so once I get up there, I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna let it work itself way out until 10:30. But when it went down, this is a problem I have. I'm telling you, my negative. My negative is I am very impatient, man. I nailed the entries all the time. I mean, I am very good at entry. So if I started a service just entries and you guys figure out your own covers, I'd probably make a lot of money than that. But I play it safe. But I mean, dude, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, I'm trying to improve daily, so I still save some for the bottom here. But I didn't capture the entire. Hold on, I'm gonna make a trade. NIO. You see that, guys? Remember I said $12. Now 1080's coming. Live trading with Furu Bao. Oh shit, I failed. 1080. There we go. See that? Boom. I shouldn't say boom because I think some other Furu room has the boom trademarked. Did you guys just see that, NIO? That's sick, right? That's fucking sick, dude. Here, let me show you if you don't believe it. Boom. Shorted near 12, covered at 1080s, and cry at 1028. usually that's how trading is, man. Like I said, I rather cry about money left on the table than about losing money. I'm telling you, I could have done much better in this stock. I could have scaled out stuff, but Dude, I'm doing the webinar for you guys, so I didn't have time to change it. So I mean, this is how much I love you guys. I just I left some money on the table because I would scale some. Remember I said I didn't scale my way out, so I just left it. I didn't want to change it, but it's fine. I mean, dude, I made more than $1 on the trade, so and I caught it on live, so it's good. Any question here, guys? You see what it is? It's basically discipline. Remember, I keep telling you, I'm gonna be a broken record every day to you guys, till you guys get this concept. Okay, the best traders are not the smartest traders. The best traders are the most disciplined traders. They follow their rules. They follow the game plan. They do not have FOMO. They are a robot, essentially, right? How does a robot, which is an algorithm, make a trade? They have no FOMO, dude. You program in the fucking rules into the robot or the black box, they call it, or the algo, and it executes. It does not execute until it gets to the fucking price that you program it to get into. So why can't you be a fucking robot? Why do you have to say, oh, it's close enough? Maybe I'll nibble here, test the waters. And so I don't have the luxury to be a robot, and that's why I have to scale, dude. I mean, I can't cheat and game the system like these robots who see all the orders that are out there, that see all the stop losses. You know, they have a huge event. Look at that, 1080 I covered, right? It went out to 1060, whatever. I mean, I don't fucking know, right? See what I'm saying? So I'm happy with my cover. So as long as you get the meat of the move, it doesn't matter what the exact. I probably would have got the exact bottom if I scaled out, because I would have based it upon charts and all that stuff. But the meat of the move, I'm just trying to illustrate to you the meat of the move is good enough, right? Can you comment on the crazy blocks going through the way above the bid? Those could be late prints, could be all sorts of stuff. I don't worry about they call it irregular trades or whatever. I'm just looking at the chart and the volume that's coming in. The bottom of these big moves make a huge difference. Let me pull in this. So I use a bunch of different charts, guys. You don't have to just stick to one. You see that big old candle down here? See, but I just got the move, dude. 1080. Who the fuck can complain, man? It fucking bounced you. So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to get back in on this trade. Let me see. Where should I fucking get in? So the way I trade is this. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in on the 1 day because I have another chart for this, but 1150. That'll be my line. Okay, let me try that. $11.50, and then the top would be 87, 77, 87. Just around there. I mean, you know, just if it comes, it comes. It doesn't come, it doesn't come. But you see, no FOMO. That's the way you should be trading. I mean, I do have FOMO, but I'm just trying to tell you that's the problem with most people that don't do well. It's not because they're not smart, man. It's because they lack discipline. I use 1 minute. You can do whatever you want. You have a bunch. Why do you think I have like all these screens? When I'm hot and heavy and sized up in a lot of these things, I have one stock across 4 different charts, different time frames, different types of charts. I have order entries already set in, so I don't need hotkeys. So that's where the monitors come in, because the fraction of a second you take to type in a new chart, that's time lost. I mean, in computer world, a second is like probably like 10 years for us, you know, or longer, because they're dealing in microseconds, milliseconds. Yes, any questions in AIO? We just did a live trade from $12 down to 1080. So that was pretty cool. But you guys see how we do it now? This is how I do it. So when I explain this, it's not, I mean, it's discipline, right, guys? It's not intelligence. It's like I can teach you this mechanics, which I told you I will teach you. Now it's just you practicing to be a robot, to be disciplined enough to implement that strategy. Notice I don't use fancy indicators, guys. I mean, I do have those. I do have it, but you know, like, it's just so damn fast where if I have a bunch of analysis lines. Like, dude, I'm gonna miss the fucking trade. At the end of the day, it's all reflex and instinct. I've been doing this a long time, and so you keep doing something. If you repeat something, a lot of repetition becomes basic nature. I look at this, I already fucking know my lines, dude. I already know where my orders will be and all that because it's just an instinct, dude. It's it's like when you're drunk, you crawl home into bed, you don't even think about it, right? It's like your natural instinct. Okay, any questions on the NIO? And so you notice this is getting weaker and weaker, right? So the line 1225, and that's why I'm able to hold it longer this time. Because seriously, in the morning, I don't fucking know, dude. It bounced off here, and so it could have trapped. So in the morning, I'm a lot more careful. Because in the morning, it was still green on the day. This sucker closed at 1160. This thing is still green for the day. So who the hell knows, you know? But once it became red, that was a better indication. Can you describe what made it interesting to short? And did you just come new to the conference, to the webinar? We just talked about this from the beginning. I already explained it. I'll post it up so you can rewatch NIO. What was the reason you want to get short? It's the resistance. It topped and it went down and went back up. So it made a new low. So I'm looking for signs that it topped. So so this is how a short seller thinks. Is this the top? If this is the top, I'm gonna short all the bounces. This is how a long side thinks. Is this the bottom? I'm gonna buy all the supports. And so in my opinion, let's take a look at this stock. Look at how far it went up, man. I'm like, dude, this is the top. This has got to be the top because it went down here and it went down lower and it went down lower. So now instead of me trying to figure out what the bottom is, it's safer to now, once the top is formed, guys, once the top is formed, in my opinion, it's easier to go short. Yesterday, the top was not formed. Easier to go long. Yesterday, all long. Just buy the support. Buy the support. Today, short the resistance. Short the resistance. You see how that works? I have no real bias, long or short. Yesterday, all long. Every single dip, every supported, kept on going higher. Today, every resistance got sold off. Do you guys see that? So you answer your question? Eric, is that good? I was making sure that I answer your questions. You have to look at this chart, Eric. I use all the data I can get, including after hours and all that stuff. This is all after hours. See, this all the way to like 8 p.m. Well, if it keeps going, TLRY keeps going. It's like you have to determine. Looking at the chart, is this the top or a bottom? Basically, or a no trade. You know what I'm saying? If this is a no trade, just leave it alone, dude. Like for the longest time, TLRY was a no trade for me. In the morning, it was I was able to short it because I'm thinking it'll go back down here, but it got supported around 1 to 10 line, and so I just left it alone. Yeah, you'll see this over time. Yeah, these charts. I mean, just take a look at it. Just draw the lines. Just it's like it went up all day yesterday. Now it reached a peak. When it started reaching a peak, it comes down. The problem is people try to guess what the top is, and that's how they get killed shorting. I used to be like one of those guys, dude. I mean, fuck. It's not an easy game. Nothing is easy. Same thing with the short side. I mean, going bounces, like, okay, if you didn't recognize that 14 was the top and you kept on fucking buying this shit, you can fucking lose all your money and get stopped out at $9. That's what happened. So the hardest part is to look at, you see that? So it didn't quite go back to my, what was that line I was trying to say? Did I fill? Fuck, I didn't fill. I was at 1147. Remember I said 1150 was the line? It went up to 1120 something. I was like, fuck. But it's completely fine. I'm not going to get FOMO and chase. I'm just going to wait for it to come back, or I miss it. It's fine. So I'm going to show you a stock I lost on. So this is the only stock I lost on today. So I did well, NIO, made money on TLRY. I lost just a little bit on Cron because I recognized this sucker was a trap. So this is a very good learning experience right here, guys. I'm going to show you a loss, what I did wrong. I'm going to pull up Cron up here so that we can we'll get to AMD. Let me do this loss. So Cron, let's take a look at what I did here. Audio is good, guys. Making sure I move my mic around. Everything's good. See, eventually we went down, but fuck, I was not. I mean, I did call in the room 1080, which I'll show you. I didn't short it though. I went to the webinar. So in the morning, I shorted around. I started scaling the $10 line, but so it was around. So I started scaling around here because this is the peak. Remember I said? So I started scaling near $10. But when it went from, so it closed at 10.11, right? And so once it got, so this is another big type of strategy that a lot of people use. It's called the red to green move. What a red to green move is this. It's when a stock is red on the day, down, and it crosses into the green territory, like it breaks even and it goes up. So yesterday close was 10.11. So today it was all the way down to 9.12. And so when it crossed over the red underwater to green, it's a very bullish sign. Because it's like, dude, it reversed itself so much that it got out of the hole, right? And so that was when I was like, oh fuck, time to cover. You notice where I covered right here? So I didn't get stubborn, man. I took some shorts at 990 area, 980 or 990. And I just covered it around the $10. So when it broke out, I was like, oh fuck. I don't use hard stops because they would have taken my hard stop at the top. What I do is I use mental stops, and then when it broke up, I waited for it to go back down and covered. As simple as that, guys. So you notice it went back, it shot up to like 1020 or something. Then went back to $10. I covered. You see that? At 990. So I didn't lose that much, man. Very small. If I was fucking, but I was stuck actually a little size more because I couldn't cover out. So I had maybe a smaller position, which I covered here. So I was not much damage. And then I went long here actually. So when I covered and then when it took down, so when I covered here, I was like, I went long down to 1028 and I sold it up here at the top, the 1070 near the 1080 line. I could have shorted it here, but fuck, I didn't do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a guru, so I can't predict this shit. So I was short in the morning, lost a little bit on it, made some money back going to long. I didn't have enough size. It spiked down the candle and just took off. I basically bottom ticked the sucker, partial part bottom ticked the sucker on this candle wick down. So that was my loss, and I was like, okay, fuck, I'm done. I'm happy. I'm not gonna get trapped. It's now past 10:30. I'm chilling. Yeah, I went long down at 10:20 after I covered here because I was like, shit, man, this sucker is so strong. It's probably gonna do another trap. And notice all the traps that were here. You see this? The bottom, it just kept on trapping. So I put it in a buy order here at this line. And sure enough, it went from like 1028, boom, to a 1080, right? Remember I said 1080 was the line? 1080 was the line, man. I'll show you how. Simple as this. 1080. The top of this sucker was 1080. Oops, I just showed you my secret. That makes sense, guys? Yeah, the guys that cut, as long as you, this is the thing with if you're short side. If I know the top, I won't lose on the stock because I'll keep adding every time it pops up to that resistance point because I know that the top is capped. It's when you try to cherry pick a stock like this that has no top. You don't know what the fuck the top is. So this is what we call the back side of the move. So this is the front side. Once the top is formed, once you know what the top is, the rest is called the back side. And the back side is the easier side, and that's the side that you should be shorting on. On the front side, you should be long. Betting will go up. On the back side, you either get the fuck out or you short. The problem is this, is people say front side, back side as if they know what the fuck the inversion point is. We don't know it's 14. And so this is why you have to give it a little room for error. I made nice money. Let me take a look. Let me show you. I made nice money on this. Like, pretty decent. I waited for the confirmation. I didn't cherry pick any of the spots up here because I don't fucking know. This thing could have gone to $20. So I gave myself an insurance policy by being a little late. It's fine if you're a little late, guys, because the confirmation has been set. So if you take a look at this, the top has been set. The bottoms are now forming. The new bottoms are now forming. And so I'm just waiting to capture, the move up so that it'll go back down. Because usually this is how it does it. It traps people and stuff. But the top has been set. So that's why I was able, those questions like what would happen to go $14? I wanted to go $14 because I expected to go there. I had a little FOMO. I agree by shorting the 12s, but it was so weak. I thought it was gonna fucking tank right away, but it went up first and then went down. But I was ready for it because these were nibbles. These are small. I mean, I had a lot of bullets left. Yeah, when it hit 14, did not think shit about. No, dude, because I planned it. The question is this: when it hit 14, was I scared? I was not scared because that was my plan. Remember, I told you my plan was to scale around $14. So I nibbled all the way up. I gave myself room for that error. I expected that thing. I didn't expect it to go up there, but if it did, I'm not scared because it was in my playbook, guys, to have that much of a range. I even told you guys in the room. Remember, I showed you the chart. $14, dude. Remember, I said $14 pre-market. So if you didn't scale like me and you had one shot, near $14 would have been it. I would scale the same exact way. I would just be pissed that I didn't have enough size. The question is, how would you have size if 12 was the resistance instead of the 14 line, right? I trade the same way. I scale it as if it's the max pain I have for $14. And if it does not even go up there, I would just have less size. I'm not looking to go full size all the time. Now that's the next strategy that you can do. It's called adding to a winner. Okay. If you're confident that that was indeed the top and no traps, you can now, instead of covering, keep adding to pops. It's called adding to a winner. And this is a very good strategy you get if you want to start making the real big bucks. But in this case, it's like, dude, these stocks are so crazy. This is outside of my comfort niche zone. I didn't really research NIO at all. I'm just trading this purely on a quick intraday chart. So I don't know like all the ins and outs. If I knew this was a pig, like a $2-3 stock, I'd be adding the winner, having big size, But you have to know your comfort zone, and so in this case, I was playing a little safe, when these tops are in, they generally trend down until close. Nah, dude. There's no usually in trading and it'll work out. It's who the hell knows? One play could work, one play could not work. It's if I knew all the time, I would be on an island somewhere, my friend. If I knew exactly what the hell this will do, I would be on an island somewhere. Not sitting here. Well, I'd probably be sitting here doing this thing because I love it. Doesn't matter, but you get my idea. I mean, you can't tell. The only way at this level. I mean, I'm not the expert. I don't know everything. I play it safe. As you see, like fuck, man, I fuck up too. I went a little early on the nibbles, but it's fine. But that was my plan, so I added more here. And when I shot up here, I added more here, and I was like, thankfully, it went down because I see this pattern a lot, and so this is how usually it happens. You know, and this time it went all the way back up, but it went so fast, like boom, and went down. So if you didn't have orders in or whatever, you probably wouldn't have filled. I had a bunch of orders at $14 ready. Line for the 11 short. This is all I have. I don't know. I was at 11.50. It didn't fill. It was 11.20, so I was kind of pissed. I could have made a little 40 cents or so. But it's okay, man. This is during the lull. I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is I don't know. I don't have all the answers. The only thing I could do is stick to my strategy that has been working for me. There are right now 600. Let me see how many people are in the room right now. 656 people in the room, and each person is trading a different strategy. And so, dude, between us, we should have some stuff covered. You know, like I don't know every single strategy. I do what I am comfortable with. Now I'm kind of pissed. That's a big move. But it was so quick, but it's okay. This is where the FOMO comes, and then the Huru's back hindsight stuff. It's like it's okay, man. I cannot nail every single move. You know, it's like, but looking at this shit hurts. Let me see. We're taking some questions, guys. Good job, Bear. I was at 11. I covered too soon, but who the hell knows? Okay. Any other questions, guys? Let me do some stuff. We'll keep AMD. AMD. Let me get this one for you. So this was the real-time call during webinar. Holy crap, NIO. So Barry, you came in late. You missed it. We had a sweet trade recorded. I made $1 on it. And so when it went back up, I was hoping it do the 11.50 line. It didn't. It did 11.20. So I was off by like fucking 15 cents. Can't capture them all. Let me take a look at AMD. AMD is tough, man. So this is what I did for AMD. It was basically a no trade until these lines have hit, and I would have been shorting. Okay, so my shorts were at these two lines, $34 and $33. In between that, there's for me no play. It's a fucking like all days like 50-cent channels, dude. It's just not. It's a waste of my time. Too difficult. Commission burner, time burner. I'm looking for stocks with range. Sucker has huge range. $14, $9. That's a huge range. These other stocks have hardly any range. This had a lot of range. So you could have gone in at the resistance, which fuck, man, I should have shorted when I sold it. I sold this sucker. Let me show you. Fuck. I beat up myself a lot. I sold it at like the 1070s. I could have shorted it there when I sold my long, and we would have been fucking perfect. It's okay. Okay, so AMD for me was a no trade, guys. There's really nothing to talk about in my opinion. What are you trying to do for them? AMD is not gonna go fucking like $20 right now. It's just too much institutional ownage. Any question, guys? So now do you understand how I kind of thought these stocks would trap? It trapped because Cron went from red to green. And where did I start my entries for shorting Cron? Let's review that. So I want to review this, and then we'll end the conference. So let's review how I thought was a trap. So my first entries were around this. So it closed at 10:11, right? So 10:11 is around here. So I was shorting before that, around here, around 10, around 980, 990s. And so once it broke to green, I was like, "Fuck, dude, this thing is strong." It went all the way back up. If it would have went, so you normally, if it was going my favor, I would have top ticked here, and then went back down, and still be red on the day. When a stock is red on the day, it means it's weak. When a stock is green on the day, it means it's strong. So be fucking careful. Okay. It's as simple as that, guys. And once it broke into green from red, it means it saved. It trapped people. It cleaned out the longs, and so now it's strong. And sure enough, it went all the way to 11 to 1080, man. The next line here, you notice you draw the line across, man. It's pretty fucking close. And so I rode some longs up to that. I sold it, but I didn't short sell it. Hindsight's always easy, you know. So that's how I avoided Cron. I told the room in real time. Remember, I said, "Dude, this thing is trapping." It went from red to green. Be fucking careful. And so you could have. So when it went up here, people thought $11 were coming, and they would have probably covered. That's why it spent all the stock and didn't hit 11. Quite, you know. It's very hard, man. I mean, what can I say? The signals you recognize was green move to a red move to green move, and so that's how you look at the basic simple stuff. Red to green, strong, because it went from red to green. If it goes from green to red, weak. Like NIO, perfect example. NIO closed at 1160, which is around here. See that? Once it dropped, boom, the bottom fell out. Green to red, boom. Red to green, boom. Make sense, guys? And just play safe Friday. I took a look at the NIO. I try to capture some moves, but it can't be perfect. But dude, overall, not bad. Easier stock to trade than the wheat stocks. Fine, I lost, but I didn't lose much, and I made a nice long. TLY fucking hard, man. If you got trapped getting FOMO in the morning, dude, don't feel bad because just learn from it. Seriously, just learn from it. This is very hard stock. I warned SSR, man. Let me show you that warning too. If you guys don't follow me already, follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna start posting more of these charts and stuff. But I wanted to just so join the room because you can't share everything, right? Let me show you. Hold on a second, guys. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Yesterday night, 6 p.m. SSR would get triggered. We'll see what happens. Whole different ball game. I've seen this too many times. It's like the SSR shit is just fucking deadly, man. It tanks, it traps, and now SSR is gonna get triggered for the next 2 days. It's like, dude. Now cron CGC is gonna be very difficult to short. A lot of trapping games, but just use the lines. Just let the stock come to you. That's basically what it is. Let the stock come to you. If it doesn't come to you, it's okay. Miss the damn trade. Find another trade. You know. Now this is a couple of nights. It's just crazy, man. It's like you can't predict every single move. So my advice, starting out, is pick your favorite setups that's been working for you. You don't have to nail everything. You don't have to be the master of every single type of trade, every single type of stock. I keep saying, I'd rather just be the master of one little niche and be the fucking best at it. You can't be the best, but be very good at it. Be the best you can be at that one niche. Learn everything you can because that's your go-to. When all else fails, go back to the fucking basics. Of course, I'm keep trying to expand my playbook and learning new stuff, but you always have to have that one go-to type of trade that will save your ass. And look at AMD, dude. You see, no trade still. Wait for the 33.12 line. So let's take a look at this top 33. Yep, I'm gonna put some orders in there as we speak. Let me see. 33 point. Run, baby. Run to here. Run to 34. Cool, guys. Yeah, man. You can't learn everything in one day. The more you look at this, the better. So there's a lot to go over. I'm gonna post this up later. Watch it again because I think this is a very important day because these are the days that kill people. I'm not kidding. The hardest stocks are the ones that go red and then they make a crazy ass move to green, man. It's a huge trap, like CGC, Cron. It's like when a stock, you think like there's no way the sucker gets saved, and it fucking goes up and gets saved. Those are the hardest ones that if you don't see the like signs, you're gonna get trapped and keep adding the loser. So once again, I'm a broken record. Red to green is a huge indicator you should not be shorting. When a stock reclaims green from being down red in the hole, dude, that sucker is coming back to kick your ass. It's a zombie, man. Second thing we talked about, SSR. When a stock gets triggered SSR, be fucking careful. They're gonna play games, especially a stock that's very strong, that everybody wants to short, that everyone's like, it's an overcrowded play. Everyone's going one directional on TLROI. So they're gonna use that to their advantage and game you or scam you and trick you, you know. Thirdly, NIO, example of everyone's into the wheat stocks. Focus on the stuff that's not as crowded. Sure enough, it worked out. All right, guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys in the chat.